Welcome back, Salty Gamers, for week 22 of this account. Let's get back into it. On to April's calendar now. So Sith Marauder and Darth Maul, including his ship. Ship BPs in the calendar is fantastic because ships are an absolute drag to farm. Claim free energy from the web store. So I'll do the dailies as I'm going through it. So I have done the first one on mod battles, so just start farming these to get some slice of mats for the mods. The plan is still to do the ships, so far we're on 75 out of 80 for the Ebon Hawk, so we're doing good on there. And we got 3. So I wouldn't usually do a refresh on Cantina, but because we're so close to unlocking it, we'll fire a refresh. And get exactly 80 shards. So we've got enough for the ship, so the next farm on Cantina will be T3M4 here, and there's only a 25 shard unlock, so that'll allow me to activate the ship and get that going. Onto the roster then. Into the journey guide straight away. We have Jedi Training Rey, Finn, Poe and Resistance Pilot and Veteran Smuggler Chewie, all at year 12. Working on Rey and BB-8. I brought R2, even though he's not part of the journey, but he's in the team. He's up to gear 11 now. That's probably as far as I'm going to take him at this stage. Ships in. Better go in here for ships. So we've now got Rey at 5 stars. Moving on to the 6th star. Same with Poe, Lando, and we're at 4 stars with the Houndstooth. So we're marching on with that. Dark side ships, I brought up the First Order TIE Pilot. There's it. First Order TIE Fighter, I brought him, the pilot and the ship up in level because I managed to get the Zeta challenge done. This one here. So we're now finally catching up with the Zetas. So we get a Zeta every, I think it's about 6 a week. So should be able to Zeta a character at least once every 3 to 4 weeks, depending on territory wars as well. Because we're getting 1 Zeta per territory war. If we get 2 territory wars per this week, then that's another 2 in the week, so we should march along on the Zetas. That being said, I Zeta'd Jedi Training Rey's second ability, our leadership ability, so we've now got that maxed out. Our next one will be this, so I might do that, I might leave it and get another Zeta on somebody else. So not much going on in the account today in terms of to show you. I'll go into my favourite farms. So still farming the usual ships. Houndstooth being priority to get it to 5 stars at least. So the good thing is I've got a lot of built up energy, so it's only a 25 shard refresh. 25 crystal refresh, and of course we only get 2 Houndstooth drops. No, we're not spending money. So 2 Houndstooth, that's great. Just what we wanted. Get some more Lando. Oh, 2 Lando. I think that's the theme today. And Millennium Falcon. And 1 for Millennium Falcon. So save on crystals, we won't refresh the normal energy. So the main focus is bringing up Ray, this team here, to gear 12 minus R2. He's a hit or a miss. So this team at least gear 12. Resistance pilot, if I can get the stuff for to gear him to 13 to relic, then he'll be my relic, the first relic. So depending on what we get there. Usually, oh no, I'll get Grievous. I was going to get Resistance pilot, X-Wing, but because Grievous is there, I'll get Grievous. Because I was going to use the Shard Shop currency. So in the guild store, what we're farming here. Not a lot to farm, so we'll just leave that. Squad store. So I'm using the squad store now because I'm not really needing to farm any characters, unless we choose to pick up one of the teams, and I'll explain that later on in the video. If that team's chosen, then I'll come back here and I'll have to farm a character. So right now I'm using it to pick up sort of high sought after gear that we need fairly often. It's not recommended, but if you're not farming a character, you'd be able to picking up purple gear when you have it. So Conquest, I'll show you. So Conquest has run the last couple of weeks, and we've managed to get to the 5th sector. And I've stopped Conquest now because there's no way I'm going to make it to the 390 box. So sticking at the 300 box, so I'll get some gear 12 stuff, which is fantastic, and some purple gear, credits wise, and half a million credits, some slicing mats, and some training mats, some ability mats. So not a bad haul for this Conquest. Gear's gear, as they say. So I'll get some more credits with Galactic War. So we're on 15, almost 16 million. That's brought us to enough for 4 of them. So we only need 5 more of these, and then we could get this one for Resistance Pilot, and then we need 8 of them. I mean, if it comes to it, I might do some battles there, see how tonight goes. For 5 more, so see, we've got 50 energy, see if we get any out of this. We've got 1. So probably by the end of Conquest we might do another one, just to get the materials. Slice that mod. So guild stuff, big push from the guild for territory wars. We're getting there. Need a wee bit more people joining ideally. We're getting 31 out of the 40 plus people that we have available. So our rewards for the territory war, well, we're sitting in the 40 million now. We've got 40 million GP joined, so that's not too bad. So we're guaranteed 1 Zeta and a nice pack where we'll obtain some of this stuff, so it's better than nothing. We're doing quite well on it. Shout out to the other guild that's fighting us at the moment. Let's see how they're doing. They've not managed to get through any of our walls. I don't think they've played. No battle. Oh, was that a battle? No, no battles on that wall. And no battles. So they've not played us yet. So they maybe looked at the front wall and went, nah, sod that, I'm not doing it. Or they might just be waiting to try and snipe the win at the end. So let's see if we can get a win. So top tip when going into GEC and Territory Wars, always check your mods. I've marked up on this GEC because I've got mods here, that's fine. But if I go to GEC ready, I have the Empire modded here now, but not on the other, not on GEC, so I'm struggling there. Unfortunately, I should have won the battle, but I lost my Empire team because I didn't have the team ready. The team with the mods on it. Do GEC ready. Do this team. So Finn, Zori, Poe, Han and Chewie. Han and Chewie in the team because they're both smugglers, so they get good amount of hellsteel with Zori's unique. So quite a difficult team to fight. CLS. Let's get CLS out. Oh, that's Han away. Han's sometimes a good sacrificial pawn because take Han away, then they have to Chewie gets an extra shot, so a bit like how Anakin goes, oh, we're maybe not getting this, but the next battle they won't have a leadership, so let's see if the Finn and Poe brothers could win it. Troopy was doing some damage, blinding us, oh well, so that's a defeat. But now it's an easier win for another team because there's no leadership. So we'll go for this top team here. Go for this team here. So they've marked up here in terms of the troopers, they could have had Veer's lead and it probably would have worked out better. So there's 20 banners for us. Let's see if we can get rid of this Omicron team with our Empire. No, our Empire's on defence, so that's all for Territory Wars. So we're winning, we're undefeated so far, we've been really lucky thanks to our heavy walls in the front. So I asked people in the Discord what sort of content they wanted, and people in the guild what sort of content they would watch, and somebody has requested that I look at the roster now. Wee disclaimer, I'm no expert on the game. I played a fair bit of it. I watched a lot of other YouTubers, Arnold, and all the other high up players. So to build my base knowledge there, but I'm by no means an expert. So if I review anybody's roster, it will not be to say you should do this or you shouldn't do that. It'll be how I view the game and what works best for me, and that point in several directions of what they could do. So the person that I'm going to review is Luke in the guild. It's a blind review, so they wanted me to look at his roster without looking at it before tonight's video. So he's at 320,000 GP. He's level 70 something. I'm guessing 76 with his highest character being Hera at level 76. So that's fine. So I'll just go through the units. So he's started farming File first with Ahsoka, but done nothing with him. So unless he's going to use them, he's maybe waiting for Echo to put in there. If he's finished the farm, he should maybe continue. It's a really good team. Let's see his other clones. So he's only got tech, bounty hunters. Recommend building your bounty hunters up for that credit heist event. Get them gear 8 minimum, maybe higher. Star them up if you're not already doing so. You've got Lando and Grief in there, so that's a good starter for 6. It's top tier bounty hunter teams have Mando in them because of his disintegrate. I've used Mando to take out Relic 7s even at gear 10, so long as your contract can get up. So work on your bounty hunters, and then you get your credit heist, and then your account can start snowballing every time that drops. You can get your credits in there. So your droids, we've got Chopper and R2, so good going. You've got, must have 6-star Empire troops because you've got R2 at 6 stars at least. You've got Chupio 1, so that's good for a CLS team. So that's not too bad there. Look at your Empire now. So Palpatine, Moff Tarkin, TIE Pilot, Vader and Thrawn. Yep, standard, not too bad team to go for probably one of the recommended teams. So work on getting, once you get to 82 you should be able to get Thrawn at 7 stars. Vader should come with achievements, and if you're lucky getting it in the fleet store, and then that will finally finish off R2. Onto your Ewoks, that's okay. A big hint at the moment, don't farm or gear these two, Ewok Scout or Teebo. They're not very useful in any of the stuff, and especially not for getting 3PO from what I've looked at, and even tried a geared Teebo up to I think gear 8, and he's lackluster compared to the rest. But if GL Leia does come out, then we might need these up. So watch this space. First Order, not too bad. I mean, just as what you've got. Galactic Republic. So mainly got your clones, Cody, Echo, 5s, Arc Trooper and Rex. So yeah, you've got a clone team there. Get them geared up if you've not already. That'll do well in the raids. As you see by Tommy, he's got his up, and they're smoking most of the lower level players with his damage. So definitely potential there. Geos, there's not a requirement in the guild to get Geos, but they're fantastic early ships, and they're pretty good at holds in Territory War and GEC, so it'll be worthwhile building them up when you've got a chance in your farming plan. Hut Cartel, that's fine. Imperial Troopers. Okay, so you could do something here with these Imperial Troopers if you wanted to gear them. Ideally these two would go with Iden, but you've got a starter here, so if you wanted an Imperial Trooper team, you could get Stark and Admiral Peart and put them in, and that's a good trooper team. So you've got potential there for troopers. Not really got Inquisitors, but that's okay. Jawas, no Jawas. Jedi, so you've got a Makings of Grandmaster Yoda unlock with Ezra, Obi, Kanan, Mace and Consular. They're probably your easiest farms, maybe Ahsoka as well. But if you're not focusing on Jedi, that's fine, but Anakin's really good to get if you want him in your farming plan. Mandalorians, just Sabine and Mando. Night Sisters, just Night Sisters. Yeah. If you got her from a drop, fair enough, but don't farm her, she's not really got a place as yet, but when the new Merrin comes out, she might well get a place. So one to keep on the back burner, but don't bother it's another character like Ewok Scout and stuff that doesn't really have much space in a roster at the moment, any use, so don't waste gear on her at this stage, but at some stage we might need her. Old Republic, nothing yet. Phoenix, as we said, we're doing well. So if your plan is to get R2 for CLS, from what I'm reading on your stuff, then this is a good team to go down that route. So you want to bring them all up. I'll have a wee look here. Okay, so yeah, you're maxed out 777. Okay, maybe a bit of health in here wouldn't go amiss, but you're doing the right thing. You've got two there are two set mod groups, so you've got 3 tenacity, so she's not going to get stunned very much. Maybe that was for Palpatine with his stuns. You've got speed on that one, health primary, so that's alright. Ideally you would want maybe speed there, but you don't want her too fast. Crit damage, that's good. Protection, health, good for the defensive triangle, or tenacity triangle. Protection, health, offense, not too shabby mods. Speed here again, that's good. Speed with the defensive setup like this, so you've got really good rolls on these tenacity mods with protection and health anyway, in primary stats, so you're doing well there. So I can see what you're trying to make her do, make her survivable so she can keep the team alive, using her backup plan. So yeah, keep up the good work with A-mods. Max out our, you don't really need to max out these anymore unless this one isn't a Zeta or Omicron, but I would leave our abilities at 7. You don't really need to take them up any further. Ezra then, the only reason I'm looking at this team so much in depth is because it seems to be your highest hitting team, so we'll take a look at this. So yeah, Ezra's the same. Yeah, max them out when you can. Don't worry about putting Zetas on them unless you really want to take them far and use their ships, which we'll come on to. Unless you're not bothered for any other teams, then fair enough, put your Zetas on, but you don't really need to put Zetas on if you're just using them for Palpatine and Thrawn unlock. The 7s or max out if they're only Omegas are perfectly fine. On to your mods then. So again, you're good, you've got your 2 sets, you're using crit damage, so it's 50-50 with crit damage, from what I've looked at. Some people say don't use crit damage, use offense because you get it more often, and other people say use crit damage. I say if a character's critting a lot, then yeah, fair enough. I notice here though that you've got a 4-drop mod. Don't make the same mistake I've done and have 4-drop mods sitting about. You get that changed to a 5-drop as soon as you can, and then you'll be good to go even with crit damage. If it's working for you, great. Again, push for speed mods here. So if they've got speed secondaries, any of these are speed, prioritise them for, especially for Ezra, because you want them going first, well not first, or going quick and hitting hard. And that's his primary goal. And he's the main damage dealer in the Phoenix team. So like this is a fantastic mod for a circle mod. 10 speed, you can't grumble at that. Potency's a bit meh, but you can't do much about your secondary stats, and you might be able to attune that later on, so still a good starting mod. Same with here, crit avoidance is alright, but ideally you want a speed arrow. You get a speed arrow, you get 30 speed straight on your character, so his speed's at 145, so he's reasonably fast, but you could probably get him close to 200 just with a speed arrow and a couple more speed mods, so that would be my advice to you for your modding on Ezra. Chopper, so you're going for speed, yeah, good, he wants to be fast to get the buffs going. Chopper's unique is a must to get Thrawn done. Level 82, fire is unique on, and you should be able to get through it because he heals everybody every turn, so it's quite good. So speed, ideally you want to be pushing speed secondaries on all these mods where you can. I know it's like this one, this is perfect. It's unfortunately it's a luck of the roll, so where you can change them out if you get better ones. 16 speed, absolutely fantastic. This is a perfect health mod. Slice that all the way to 6 dots and you'll be well chuffed with that. Keep that one locked. This isn't too bad as well if you get another roll at it. 7 or 8 speed, that could go up to 10 or 11 speed when you get it to 6 dot. So if I was using these mods, I would lock them in so you never sell them accidentally and keep them going. With the speed, let's have a look at Zeb. Without any spoilers, he made his wee debut in Mando this week, so if you're a big fan of Zeb and Rebels, have a wee look at Mando, and I'm sure you'll be happy to see him in there. So yeah, his Zetas are good, but you don't need them. So perfect level 7 them. Potency, yeah, you'll get a lot of his debuffs. Speed on it, perfect. Speed, no speed, lots of speed. So lots of speed, he's probably one of your faster ones. 151? It's a wee bit slower than I thought, but you're doing the right thing with speed mods, speed secondaries there. I'd maybe put tenacity or something as another one instead of 6 potency. But if he's working for you, cool. You'll get a lot of stuns, a lot of debuffs, so I mean that's one of his biggest parts, is getting the staggers on and rolling back the turn meter. Kanan, so I guess you're working on Kanan's mods at the moment. Don't use potency on him. He doesn't do potency, only use potency for debuffs. If they do debuffs, great. I mean if they're fillers because you have no other mods, that's perfectly reasonable. But ideally what you want to do is put tenacity, health and defense. I'll show you a setup that I have for my Royal Guard, which is a tank. The only difference is he puts debuffs on his stuns, so he needs a wee bit of potency, but primarily what I would do is tenacity, health and defense as your 3 sets, and then just try and bulk up like you did for Hera, a lot of tenacity, a lot of health, a lot of protection, and make him very much survivable. Again, max him out as much as you can without using Zetas and Zetas, and then you'll be good to go there. And then Sabine, you sort of left in the dirt. which is perfectly fine. She's only needed for her ship, and then a Mando team later on in the game. So Phoenix is coming along well, keep up the good work with that. Onto your rebels then, other rebels. Not really got anything else. If you can, do the Mando event, get these up to 5 stars if you haven't already. Cara Dune, all the Beskar Mando requirements. If they're not 5 stars, get the Mando event done. It's perfectly free, it's all free, and you can get them up. Even if you don't star them, do the event and get the shards for them, and then you'll be happy enough there. It saves on the hard mode farms for that. I'm guessing you don't have any resistance, just the usual that you get. Rogue One, nothing. Separatists, Droid Decay from the calendar, Magna Guard, and then when I say you don't have any, that's not a negative for you. It happens, sometimes you don't get everything, you don't get full teams, you have to prioritise your farming, etc. So that's perfectly fine. It's not a dig that you don't have them, that's okay, it just means that I'm not looking at the characters. So good, you've got Star Palpatine. Have a wee look at his mods. Potency and speed. That's okay, yeah. I mean, I think is that what is recommended? I usually, because I'm using him in leadership in my team, what I'm doing is I'm putting a lot of health on him. Because I'm using Royal Guard, and with Royal Guard's unique, when I Zeta it, he will then get, Royal Guard will get health equal to, so the leader's health will get added on to Royal Guard's health. So the more health the leader has, the more health Royal Guard has, the more tanky he becomes. So that's a way to go down it there. But if the mods are working for you, great. A lot of speed, so he's going to go pretty fast. If you pair him with Mara Jade, if you're building an Empire team, get Mara Jade, even at low stars, 3 to 4 stars. She'll do a ton of work and get lots of wins. Check back my previous videos and you see that I used Mara Jade Empire team to go through Galactic War and a lot of Squad Arena up until I got the Resistance team up. So definitely worth doing if that's the route that you're going down. Probably don't have any Sith Empire yet. Nope. Smugglers, Dash and Young Lando, okay. Tusken, unaligned. Yep, got the 2 that were from the Marquee. Tuskens, Marquee, yep, good. Okay, so not a bad roster overall. I'd be happy with this roster. It's got a lot of potential. There's not a lot of wastage where you've just put points willy-nilly everywhere. So good going, keep up the good work. Going forward, what I would think of is what you want to get out of the account. Who do you want to get? Go into the journey guide, maybe go to the Galactic Legends and work back the way. If you're not fussed for a Galactic Legend for some time, then look at the solo journeys and pick one and then work towards it. That would be my best bet. From the looks of it, you might probably be going for, because you've got Han up there, so you're probably going for CLS, so you might want to go, if you're going for CLS, fire in Ewoks and get an Ewok team up and running for that 3PO. What else? And you've got your troopers. Get the troopers up as your clone troopers, that is. Get the clone troopers going as soon as you can afford to. Clone troopers and bounty hunters should be your 2 sort of secondary teams there, or secondary and third team for working on bounty hunters, then clone troopers. That's what I would do, and then you'll see your account get a lot of traction from that, from clone troopers in the raids and bounty hunters and credit heists and other events that use them. Onto your ships then, so you're using the Ghost and Phantom, okay, so if you're using the Ghost and Phantom, bring them up, you want at least gear 12 with ships as a minimum. to be really good. So work on that if you're consistently using their ships. If you're using, so the way ships work from my understanding is every gear level improves the ship, every ability level improves the ship, and every 5 dot level 15 mod improves it, and the same with 6 dot, doesn't matter the colours, including Zetas and the star level. So you want to work on all of your character to bring them up. So that's why this ghost, even at 2 stars, is at 25,000 power. That's what you want to do there. So you want to bring them up when you can. Get a dark side fleet if you can. Geos is a good bet, because you're going to be, if you're not already, you're becoming close to doing the Zeta challenge. Don't do what I've done and lack on dark side and then be waiting to get Zetas coming in. Get the dark side ships up even more so than light side ships, to go for the Zeta challenge. So that's all I really got to say on ships. So overall, good roster, keep up the good work, glad to have you in the guild, hope you enjoyed my little review, and let me know how you get on, and please drop a message in Discord if you're in it, or on the guild chat, and let me know what route you're taking, and I could better tailor my advice to that depending on who you're going after. So moving on then. So my plans for the future, I've worked out a rough estimate that within the next month to 2 months I should have the ships farmed to 7 stars, which would allow me to get the event finished by, say, end of May. Hopefully starting it this month. I think the event runs around the 28th, so hopefully we should be able to get that up and running and start going for the Radis. And then it appears twice a month, and you get 10 shards per time you do it, so that's 20 shards a month, and then you've got 65 shards to get to 5 stars, and that's enough for the Galactic Legend. So that in mind, by the end of May, so say June, I should have the Radis event done and just be doing the bonus, and then 2.5 months later I should have the Radis. So approximately by August, September I should have the Radis on 5 stars ready to go for the event. If my calculations work and I get good rolls on the ships. If we get really good rolls on the ships, then it'll come a lot quicker. So I'm hoping, if that works out and I get further in the fleet arena, then I should hope, not fleet arena, the fleet battles, I should hopefully start steamrolling the relic mats, and hopefully by October the 30th I should be well on my way, if not already, going for Galactic Legends Ray as an unlock, not a ultimate, just a unlock. So that's the first goal, is by a year from when I put the first video up on this account to have Galactic Legends Ray hopefully in the bag, if all goes well. If not, the secondary goal for Galactic Legends Ray is a year from when I hit 85. So I hit 85 a month ago now, so I've got 11 months on that goal. So that's sort of the plan for getting GL Ray. So my next plan for building the account up, you'll see I've got a few tabs here. So finishing off the top line Ray's team, because I've got to get them to relic anyway, so getting them to gear gear 12 as soon as I can, so they're going to get the priority gear. Moving down, I'll then start building up these pilots because they're going to be used for the fleet. So starting with Bossk, Lando, L3, Karth and then T3. That's just to gear them. I'll start taking them up to sort of gear 8 to begin with, building them on, and then I'm hoping to get a Qui-Gon team up with this team here. This is to utilise Ahsoka because I'm utilising her ship, and it's mainly for GAC to get. So these two teams here are GAC focused teams, which are for getting holds and on GAC and make my GAC defence and offence a little bit better. So they'll be passively worked on going forward. Where I can spare gear and levels, I'll build up them, and then I've got 2 to add, so I'll add a poll up after the video at some point to see which of these 2 teams I should farm. Now I can't farm Tusken Chieftain or Tusken Warrior because they're not farmable yet unless I pay money, which obviously on a free to play account you're not going to do, but I could farm the rest. That in terms of farming, I won't be farming them where it takes away from the main goal of the raid journey. However, when stuff comes available, I'll pick one of these teams. Now the reason I picked out these teams is the Krayt Dragon raid's coming out soon, hopefully within the next couple of months, and 2 of the teams that will be used for that are Jawas and Tuskens. Jawas are also double up and are good at the tank raid. They get bonuses on the tank raid. They're an absolute horrible team to fight in general because they do a lot of thermal detonators and stuff. Tuskens are quite fun to use even with Tusken Chieftain and Tusken Warrior at low stars. So I'll put a poll up, drop it in the comments, drop it on the poll in the community side of the page, and let me know which team you want me to build up for the Krayt Dragon raid. And then I'll still build up the other teams to gear 12 when I could free them, and then journey guide stuff. Once I finish the ships up, I'll also then start farming stuff like Resistance Hero Poe, Finn, then Tico and Amlin Holden is the plan there. So that's a wrap for me today. Not a lot going on. Got 1 win, 1 defeat on Territory War. We should win overall. A wee roster review next week. I will do another roster review on Ray's account. He's requested a review of his account and particularly his mods, so I'm more than happy to do that. So that's the look forward for next week. If you want me to have a look at your account, drop into my Discord, sub to the channel, and drop me a message in the Discord page where it's a request for videos, and I could see what I could do. And this is going to be sort of a side thing going on whilst there's not a lot happening. We're just farming gear and leveling up stuff. On that note, have a good one, stay salty.